Okay, so we have done the threat to biodiversity, okay, on Tuesday. Okay, so we continue to our topics today, endangered species and how we can actually protect the endangered species through a different approach. Okay, so first of all, we look at this, what it means by endangered species. So when we talk about endangered species, but if you look at certain category, they will put it as the critically endangered species, but basically they are the same name as long as we talk about endangered species. So it's a species that the number has so low that it's unlikely to be maintained by normal rate of reproduction, and they are in danger of become extinct in the near future in the wild. So it means that the number is so low, if you just leave them for their normal way of reproduction, they won't be able to actually grow back exponentially, and therefore we need to actually trigger a certain approach to protect them. Okay, so this endangered species diminish it may due to these two basically these two regions. First is environmental factor, for example because of the habitat fragmentation, climate, okay, climate change, natural disaster, overexploitation of species for human use. Those are quite common because of environmental force, or may due to what we call the evolutionary changes in their members, such as genetic inbreeding, poor reproduction, decline in the population number. So when talk about genetic inbreeding, we do know that inbreeding depression, it will cause inbreeding depression. So every year we do have this NGO, okay, under this IUCN, the International Unions for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. They publish a list, okay, so you can see that what they do. They're assessing the global conservation status of a particular endangered species. So in 2013, we can see that roughly about 21,000 threatened species. But today, in 2020, surplus, okay, 120,000 species. Okay, and out of these, so many assessed 32,000, okay, 441 species are in threatened, with extinction. It's not like endangered only, but if we don't do anything, they will extinct in the particular. And you can see that in the list, in the list, they have a very high proportion of vertebrates as compared to invertebrates and green plants opposed to the protoctids. Okay, some endangered species are quite high profile. Everyone know about it. For example, panda, tigers, rhinos. But some of the species actually they are very, very low profile. People actually didn't pay attention to that particular species. Okay, so despite high number, some millions of species still in the process of extinction, particularly rhinos, tiger. Their number actually didn't reach a particular status yet. Okay, and we do know that this endangered species, if we don't carry out a particular efforts to protect them, so extinction will take place. Extinction for particular species will take place. So a species extinct when last exiting member die, particularly we talk about it, the last one die, but sometimes it's not, sometimes it means a functionally already extinct. When we functionally already extinct, functionally extinct basically means that only a small number of individuals survive, which cannot reproduce. Like try imagine I mean the whole world only 2 or 3 of them, and all of them are male, or they are old already, they cannot reproduce already. Okay, so in this case, then we say that functionally extinct means that they are still there, but we do know that nothing much we can do already. Okay, so that's called extinctions. Okay, so species may be extinct, okay, as a result of change in the climate due to the pollutions, okay, increase of the competition for the better adapted species. Okay, for example, sometimes the native species face the competition from the alien species, and particularly human activity also very, very important. For example, deforestation, poaching, developments, okay, we deforest to carry out agricultural, housing area, residential area. So therefore, you can see that this activity can cause some of the species to be extinct. Okay, so we can see that the show some of the example. You don't remember, just for you to have a look. So in this 10-year time, okay, we have a lot, but I don't want to put it in. But those are quite high profile animals. You can see that. Okay, the West African black rhinoceros. You can see that in 2011. Soft-shell turtle in 2019, quite recently. Christmas Islands, okay. These pipistrelles, okay, and also Catarina pupfish. So what are the main reason? One main reason for rhinoceros, okay. So this rhinoceros was hunted due to the value of its horns, which was believed to have the power to cure a specific disease and to be effective at detecting any poison. So one of the mechanism that what nowadays they do, okay, for these rhinos, they actually remove their horns straight away. Means that purposely, okay. So means that to protect them, to protect these rhinos, one of the way they do, they remove the horn. So means that they won't be killed by the hunter. I clear for the horn because they don't have horn anymore. Okay, so this soft shell turtle in China, extinctions due to what? Habitat loss. Okay, for local consumptions, also due to the alternative medicines. Okay, so the female, the last breeding pair died because, okay, at the Suzhou Zoo in China in April 2019, making the species functionally extinct now. Okay, the female of the last breeding pair. Okay, so now extinct already, no more. Christmas Island, that we learn about these crazy ants, yellow ants, and also the red color, the crabs. Okay, so again, can you see that? Due to what? Introduced species such as the yellow crazy ants, black rats, and feral cats are all identified as a potential suspect that caused the death of these, something like bats. Okay, then you can see that the Catarina pupfish extinction associated with the overexploitation, dewatering, habitat disruptions, and competition with the alien species for diverse sources. So you can see that I didn't put in the plant. This is just animal. So plant will still have some other list. Okay, so these are just for example, but you can see the main reason you cannot run away from the change in the climate, right? Dewatering, drought, increased competitions from these alien species, and human activity, deforestation, and also the poaching, right? So what's mean mass extinction? When talk mass extinction means that a mass extinction is a widespread and a rapid decrease in the biodiversity on Earth. Okay, such an event is identified by sharp change in the diversity and abundance on a multicellular organism. So you can see that actually on Earth experience again 5 times, 5 times the massive what we call this extinction before. If you see from here, you can see that 5 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The massive mass extinction. Each of them will show a sharp decrease in the diversity. Can you see that? Diversity. So how did they know? In the fossil records. Okay. Now, if you know about this, how they actually do the fossil record, because we do know that our layer of the earth, the ground, okay, we have the sediment. Okay, so sediment actually lay down year by year. So these sediments actually can be what we call this dated back. Okay, so when we see that at the particular sediments layer, we have a particular type of the species. So sometimes you can see that, okay, the sediment layer. Okay, so here you can see a lot of the species of the fossil record, but here less species. So from here we do know that something happened that separate these two era. Are you clear? So one of the very, very famous actually is the one that end the Cretaceous, where it happens roughly about 65 million years ago that kill off all the dinosaur. So it means that at the layer here, okay, you will be able to see what actually the dinosaur fossil records at the bottom layer, but top layer you won't be able to see any what we call this fossil records of the dinosaur anymore. So it means that something must happen here. Something must happen here. And until now, we don't have a very, very concrete evidence to say that it's because of what event, but there is one special boundary between these two. Okay, so this boundary actually called as the KT boundary. If you if you go to the YouTube and search for documentary called KT boundary, and this KT boundary actually with a layer of the radioactive sediments. So these radioactive sediments, they dated it and they found that this is due to the meteorites. Okay, one of the events that meteorite actually hits on the Earth and then cause a catastrophic events that actually kill off our dinosaur. Okay, so that's the end of the Cretaceous. Because the end of Cretaceous, therefore, at this part starts of the new era. This era is where the mammal start to flourish. Okay, because of the Cretaceous, I mean, during this Triassic to Cretaceous is where these regions, okay, this region is where dinosaur actually survive. So because with the presence of the dinosaur, mammal won't be able to actually evolve. Okay, I just try to imagine that we are killed by the dinosaur. Okay, so the Cretaceous peregrines, okay, this is what we call KPG, or now we call it, last period we call KT, extinction events, was a sudden mass extinction of 3/4 of the plant and animal species on the Earth, approximately 65 or 66 million years ago. Okay, so it was caused the impact of mass comets, asteroids, 10 to 15 kilometer wide. So the wide range of species perished in this KT extinction. The best known is being the dinosaur. Okay, another one is the Permian. Permian also caused about 95%, okay, of the extinctions, okay, due to the climate change or this asteroid event. But now we do have this Holocene extinction. Holocene extinction also refer to the 6th mass extinction. Is ongoing extinction events, okay, of the species during present Holocene, it epoch as a result of the humans' activity. So it's here. What should happen here, because of human activity, a lot of the plant species, animal species have been extinct. So means what? We are actually currently in the 6th mass extinctions. Okay,